Right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Great to see everyone here. We're here for a really beautiful reason, in addition to Shabbat, and a beautiful evening. I don't know if we have enough chairs for everyone, and if we don't, we do. Okay, good. But if you want to sit on the concrete bench to your right, that's fine too. We've got 3 chairs up here. And if you sit in the front, I promise not to ask you any hard questions. We have a chair there. Raise your hand if you have a chair near you. Thank you. What a classy problem for a synagogue to have. Again, welcome. This is obviously a very special musical evening and a treat for all of us, which makes it doubly important that everyone checks their cell phone now. And please take a look at your phone. Even if you're sure your phone is off, please take a look and make sure that you power down, okay? At least put it on silent. All right, now, take a moment and please turn to your left or your right, in front of you, behind you, and please say hello and introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Stand and restart celebrating their 60th, so we'll do that maybe before the LA. We'll do the baby name. Yes. Yeah. All right. Again, Shabbat Shalom. We have a lot of special things. We have a baby naming. We have a very special anniversary. And a beautiful musical evening to uplift our souls. Let us begin. Page 10, Hine Matov.
Shevet Achim yachad.
Yedid Nefesh, again on page 10, in the middle of the page.
This poem actually has 4 stanzas. And both Yedid Nefesh, Lecha Dodi, Shalom Aleichem were all composed by the Jewish mystics of the 16th century living in Safed in Israel. They yearned for God. That was their passion. Each of these 4 stanzas, if you could see them, begins with the name, a letter that spells out the name of God. Yud He Vav He. That's what they thought about, loving God. Let's join together. Yedi nefesh al rachaman al harachaman mishoch avdecha el ritzonecha el ritzonecha. That repeats. Yedi nefesh av rachaman av rachaman mishoch avdecha el ritzonecha el ritzonecha. Yarutz avdecha kemo ayar ishtachave el mul hararecha. Yarutz avdecha kemo ayar ishtachave el mul hararecha. Yedi nefesh av rachaman av rachaman mishoch avdecha kemo ayal eritzonecha.
So beautiful. Page 20, Lecha Dodi, and we, along with Jews all over the world, welcome Shabbat now into our shul, into our hearts, into our families, to our world. And for the last stanza, we rise and face the entrance, so let's just call the entrance the pergola behind us, and symbolically bow and welcome Shabbat into our lives. We're going to do verses.
Let's call it out. 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Okay, 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת נקבלה, וחדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, שהמור וזכור ודיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם ותפארת לקהילה. לך אדוני, לך אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, עם לכל הברכה, ראש מקדף וסוכות, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך אדוני, לך אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לקראת אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורי קומי, אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך אדוני, לך אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוכם לני סגולה. בואי קלה, בואי קלה, לך אדוני, לך אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
It's not even a fair fight up here tonight, Don. I mean, wow.
Well, that's okay.
Really beautiful. And now it is my honor, our honor, to invite forward our bat mitzvah Mia. And Mia, would you please bring your family with you? Come on up. And they're going to lead us in the lighting and blessing of the Shabbat candles, which you'll find on pages 2 and 3. Got your prayer book? So we're going to start with this paragraph, and then we'll do the bracha.
Okay. May I come, please? As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. For some of you, it'll be a new piece. It's a beautiful composition by a former employee of Wilshire Boulevard Temple. She was a song leader here more than 25 years ago. Cantor Natalie Young. It's a beautiful, serene piece that really captures, I believe, the spirit and the peace of Shalom Aleichem, this mystical text inviting the angels home with us tonight for Shabbat. Page 24.
It is now my profound honor to invite forward, maybe not the newest, but very close to the newest member of our Wilshire Boulevard Temple community, Gia. Gia, would you please bring your mommy and daddy up here? Gia is 30 days old. And she's so beautiful. Liza and Leo, Mazel Tov. We have some grandparents here, don't we? Can we bring them up? Come on, grandparents. Do we have I think we have uncles and aunts, right? Siblings. Well, that's uncles and aunts. Come on up. Let's get your whole beautiful family up here. I know. Look at this is Eloise, and she's got polkies for days.
O Lord our God, with thanksgiving for the birth of our child, we express our joy and gratitude. May we fulfill the task of teaching our new daughter to care about her heritage and to live by the values and ideals of our tradition.
With wisdom and love, may we nurture in our child the yearning to wear the crown of a good name. Grant to her years of harmony and peace.
Hi, everyone. We are very honored to be here with our sweet baby girl, Shai. We chose the Hebrew name Shai after my great-grandmother, who we sadly never had the chance to meet because she passed away from breast cancer. But we have always heard stories about. She was always put her family before all, lived life to the fullest, and was a strong fighter. Our baby girl, although you're only 1 month old today, we can already feel how strong and loving you are. You have a sweet and sensitive nature, an amazingly passionate and loud voice already. We wish for you a long and beautiful life, filled with all the joys, laughter, and adventures. Last year, we stood in the synagogue at Wilshire Boulevard for the holidays, praying for a sweet baby to choose us, and today we couldn't be more grateful to be standing here with our friends and family celebrating. Shai, meaning gift, you will forever be the greatest gift of our lives.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Kayam et hayada hazot la'avi ulima v'yikare shma b'Yisrael Shai bat Shlomo v'Chana. Our God and God of our people, bless this beautiful child and let her be known in the house of Israel as Shai, the daughter of Shlomo and Chana. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless her. May you, her family, accept and enjoy the sacred privilege and responsibility of raising the next generation of your family and of our people. May Shai grow up to be steeped in Torah and God and love. And may she bring blessings to her parents, her grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, her people, and we hope someday all the world. Everyone, please join me in Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. All right, we'll see her in 13 years, okay? Can we get a Siman Tov and Mazel Tov from the band, please? Help us out.
Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Orecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Orecha Yisrael.
Thank you so much.
Okay, she's got papers now. Oh, I wish all of you could be up here looking at this front row and these babies, and oh my goodness. Wish our kids would get with the program, huh? Shh, do not say
I hope
said
Jillian's not
that.
watching
Do not.
this on
I was
live
just saying,
stream.
do not record that. It's going to be a long, cold night at the Leader House if that gets out. Chatzi Kaddish, everyone. Page 26.
נתגדל ונתקדש שמי רבה בעלמדי ורקירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו Amen. Yeshme Rabban Varach Me'alam Ulala Me'alam Maya Yitbarach Ve'yishtabach Ve'yitpa'ar Ve'yitrama Ve'yitnaseh Ve'yithadar Ve'yitaleh Ve'yitalal Shemei Dekutshah Berikuriela min kol birchata v'shiarata tushvechata v'nechemata tahamiran be'alma ve'imru Amen.
We turn the page and rise for the Baruch Hu. The month of Elul tonight, the month that immediately precedes the High Holy Days, the month in which we begin this process of turning inward, of contemplating change. So please join me in this reading on page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
תמיד יתמוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המריב הרבים.
Ahavat Olam, page 32.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נעשיח בחוקיך על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נעשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי חיינו באור ימינו ובהם נגיע בלילה. 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 ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. We can be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר נוהים מסביך היום על לבביך. ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשיבך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובמקומך וקשרת מאוד על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתרתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לגליהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We read together on page 37.
Love your God with every heartbeat,
with every breath, with every conscious act.
Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. On page 40, you'll see the Michamocha. It comes from the oldest Hebrew poem we know of, Shirat Hayam, directly from Torah. And it is our freedom song. Most cultures have a freedom song. Few are older, and this is ours. We're going to take a moment before this beautiful piece of music and these words, since we're entering the month of Elul. We tend to think of freedom in a national sense. This is the month and the time of year when we think about freedom in the personal, internal sense. So let's just take a moment to consider within what it is in the year ahead we choose to be free of, rid of, liberated from within.
Page 42, our evening prayer we recite each and every night of the year. Hashkivenu. I commissioned my friend and colleague and brilliant cantor and composer Mayor Finkelstein 23 years ago to compose this piece for me and for Wilshire Boulevard Temple. And this is actually the first time I'm singing it. It took me 23 years to learn it. And Chris Harden made a beautiful arrangement. So, Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hamidenu malkeinu lechaim lechaim ufros aleinu sukkot shalomecha sukkot shalomecha v'takneinu b'tzat tova milfanecha Asir Satan milfanenu Vitzel knafecha tastirenu ki el shomreinu umatzilenu ata ki el melech chanun rachum ata u'shmor tzeiteinu Seitenu uveinu lechaim u'shalom me'ato ve'ad olam ufros aleinu sukkot shel hamecha Shema Yisrael v'yor Yerushalayim v'yor Yerushalayim v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat la'asot et ha-shabbat לדורותם ברית העולם. It's for you. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו
בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל
את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Rise now for the Amidah. Mia's going to come on up and help lead us in the Amidah. Page 48.
Adonai Sefer Tatifta Uvishaki Tahilatecha Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Atzmaneinu V'Yimoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Le'ula Livnei V'nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai,
מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. On Shabbat, certain prayers are removed from the Amidah. The petitionary prayers, the asking prayers. Shabbat is a time when we pause to think not about what we can take from the world and take from others, only what we can give. We continue now with the Amidah silently, pages 52 through 62.
For those who wish, you may be seated. Page 60, our prayer for peace. And it occurs to me that much of the music we've heard tonight was composed by Los Angeles composers and Israeli composers. A few others, but primarily two of the three Jewish centers currently on planet Earth. When we think back about the last 50 years or so, so much of our synagogue music has come from Israel. Not from the synagogues in Israel, but from composers and singers and musicians. And from the other Jewish center in the world, Los Angeles. It's true. It's true. Here's a piece by a composer not from Los Angeles. At least I don't think he's from Los Angeles, but he's a marvelous cantor and a brilliant composer, Jonathan Komisar. Shalom Rav on page 60.
Olam לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל. את כל יושבי תבל בכל עת ובכל השעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם.
In just a moment, we're going to sing the Misha Berach. And I assume we're doing the Debbie Friedman melody. The one notable exception to Cantor Gurney's observation about New York, Los Angeles, and Israel, written by Debbie Friedman from the great state of Minnesota, who was my camp song leader long ago. And she too had a profound impact on the music of the synagogue, and has enabled us through music to express the sad and complicated feelings we carry when someone we love is suffering. The Misha Berach is in the middle of page 253. And before we sing it together, I want to mention first Nicole Alkov, Isaac Ashorzadeh, Simon Aziz, Emily Blau, Chaim David, Karen Fields, Rick Frankel, Jacob Friedman, Vicky Friedman, Merlot Gadushi, Hilly Gordon, Levi Jonathan, James Klein, Jack Liebhaber, Michael Levi, Ronald Lenicki, Philip Marber, Sheila Merowitz, Gila Mishkanian, Josh Mills, Michael Neiman, Annette Pansky, Helen Passman, Judith Ann Salter, Trevor Sangster, Charles Schwartz, Karen Shanbrum, Alan Soroti, Merrill Werber, and Stacy Wernick. If you have a name or names of someone you'd like us to recite the Misha Berach for this evening, please just stand, and when I point to you, go ahead and mention the name or the names, and then be seated again, and then we'll all join together again in the middle of page 253. Christach.
Mi sheberach avotenu v'kol habracha v'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say,
Many years ago, when Don had been with us for maybe a year or two, and I always on Shabbat morning thanked our musicians, our choir, and our cantor. And Don pulled me aside one morning and said, I would appreciate it if you don't thank me, because this is what I do. This is who I am, and this is not done to be thanked. It comes from my soul. So I stopped thanking him, which really upset him. It didn't upset him at all, actually. And I share that with you so you have some glimpse of where the music comes from. We all have soundtracks in our minds. By the way, I want you to know I have permission to thank Don tonight. I asked him before the service. We all have a soundtrack in our lives. Those of us who grew up at Jewish summer camp, or went to shul, or temple, or synagogue, they are not all the same thing. We have a Jewish soundtrack in our hearts, and our minds, and our memory. I have one from when I was very young, from the conservative shul that we belonged to. V'anachnu koirim u'mishtachavim u'moedim. That's the soundtrack of my youth. But the soundtrack of my adulthood in shul is Don, and always will be. L'dor v'ador nagid godlecha u'lenetzach netzachim kedushacha nagdish. And so much more. And that we carry with us always, and tonight is no exception. And that's a gift. And we thank you. Many of you have also heard me tell the story about when I was being ordained. I decided to go ask the handful of faculty and professors at Hebrew Union College who I really respected what it in their mind, in their view, what it meant to be a successful rabbi. And the best answer I received was from a non-rabbi on the faculty named Ezra Spicehandler, who was a professor of Hebrew literature. And he said to me, a successful rabbi is a person who profoundly affects at least 3 people in the course of his or her career. What is a successful cantor? A person who has profoundly affected at least 3 people in the course of his career. What is a wildly, unimaginably successful cantor? One who has profoundly affected thousands and thousands of people through the soundtrack of our lives. And birthed cantors into the world. That is a success. And I know you don't like to be thanked. You might get used to it. I know that it comes from a place far beyond doing something for being thanked. So I'm going to just say it once and say it simply from me and from all of us to our Chazan. Thank you. Now, yeah, why not? We're not done yet.
Please rise and remain standing until I tell you to sit down. Just kidding.
Now,
thank you all so much.
Please be seated. One more little bit of Yiddishkeit, then you can thank the band, okay? I have to say.
As long as it's Yiddishkeit.
Yeah, you're looking like so cool tonight. And you know Jordan, I've said it many times. Look at Jordan there on the drums. I told him before the service started, on my best day of my entire life, I didn't look that cool. It's just like a new standard. I'd like us to turn to page 92 for a moment, and I want to say this for you, our Chazan. And I'd like to invite all the rabbis and cantors who are here tonight to come on forward and to help me with this. So please come on up. Rabbi Karen Fox is here, Rabbi Joel Nickerson, Rabbi David Eschel, Rabbi Hannah Elkin, Rabbi Stan Davids, Cantor Lisa Peacock. Come on up here. You might want to see Dur, or not, or gather around Karen. There's a special Kaddish. There are actually 5 different types of Kaddish. And the one that we're going to recite now for you, Don, is Kaddish de Rabbanan, the rabbi's Kaddish, but in this case, we all know rabbi means teacher, and this is the Kaddish we traditionally say to honor our scholars who have enlightened us with Torah. And you can feel free to join me as well on page 92. It's transliterated. Don't worry. And Don, it's our honor to recite Kaddish de Rabbanan for you, our teacher. Al Yisrael ve'al Rabbanan ve'al Talmidei Hon ve'al kol Talmidei Hon ve'al kol man da'askin be'oraita di va'atra haden v'di v'chol atar ve'atar Yehe lahon u'lachon shlama rabba china v'chista v'rachamim v'chayin arichin umzonei revichi ufurkana min kadam avuhon divishmaya v'ara v'imru amen Yehi shalom rabba min shamaya, v'chaim tovim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imeru, amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu berachamav ya'aseh shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imeru, amen. Now please join me in the English. God of heaven and earth, grant abundant peace to our people Israel and their rabbis, to our teachers and their disciples, to our cantors, and to all who engage in the study of Torah here and everywhere. Let there be for them and for us all grace, love, and compassion, a full life, ample sustenance, and salvation from God. And let us respond, amen. For us and all Israel, may the blessing of peace and the promise of life come true. And let us respond, amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and on all Israel and on all the world. And let us say, amen.
Amen. Thank you all. Thank you. Yes, that ample sustenance. That was the key for his ample sustenance.
Ample sustenance.
Stanley just bestowed the most beautiful of all blessings upon Don.
He did.
He said, Cleveland Indians forever.
And I said, Guardians. And he said, whatever. I do want to thank our musicians. This is the most special thing for me. Chris Harden is back with us this evening. He moved to Portland a number of years ago, and for many years he was with us once a month, helping really to elevate and broaden and deepen the sound of services at Wilshire Boulevard Temple through his artistry and countless arrangements. Countless arrangements. I'm so glad you could be here tonight, Chris. The JJ, who I've known since kindergarten in that building, right? No words to say what it means to have you sitting here tonight and many, many other nights. Phil Feather, brilliant musician, oboist, flutist, saxophonist, is here tonight. Some of you heard him play sometimes actually on high holidays. You might not have seen him up in the choir loft, but he's an extraordinary musician. Leo Shelyapov, who you all know, clarinet and saxophone and flute and duduk. He's also an accomplished pianist, but I never let him play here. On bass, Jonathan Pintoff on that beautiful double bass back there. Thank you for being here tonight, Jonathan. Our guitarist tonight, for the first time ever, you'll recognize half of his name, Hank Easton. Hank is Hope's brother. And Hope is the happiest person here tonight because you're playing here tonight, Hank. I want you to know that. That's the truth. And of course, all of our gifts flow from one common source, which is Cleveland Heights High School in Cleveland, Ohio. That happens to be the truth, right? See you on Coventry Road sometime in the future. And to you, Hope, who's been playing with us now for, how many? 10 years? Okay. At least 10 years, yeah. So, it means the world to me for all of you to be here tonight and all the other nights and occasions throughout the year. So I feel blessed that you're all here tonight. Thank you all.
Now, let's do it. Yeah. You want to introduce it?
Sure, let me give up.
Page 358.
Oh, thank you.
You might remember I mentioned that petitionary prayers are mostly eliminated on Shabbat because it's a time of giving and not taking. And this is a kind of petitionary prayer, an asking prayer, that asks for something so beautiful. It fits as it should in Shabbat. Page 358, I'd like we say a few words about Achat Sha'alti, please.
So this is just a short passage from the Psalm 27. We sing it every day during the month of Elul in preparation for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and actually through the high holidays. And I remember you doing a teaching last year, saying how the text is, I ask one thing of you, God. And then there's like 10 things that the psalm asks for, right? It's multiples, but essentially it's one thing, that we live in the house of God all the days of our lives and beyond. So, Achat Sha'alti, page 358.
Achat Sha'alti meit Adonai ota bakesh shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai achat sha'alti meit Adonai ota bakesh shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai lachazot benoam 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 Adonai lachazot benoam benoam ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם, בנועם, ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם, בנועם, בנועם Adonai.
One more thank you for me, to my Nancy,
Yes.
without whom,
Yes.
well, I don't know where I'd be, quite honestly. But here I am, and it's because of her.
You might want to thank
I love
your
you.
mother-in-law. I just
Oh, my
want to keep you
mother-in-law,
out
of
of
course.
trouble, bro.
Yeah, my mother-in-law sitting in the front row here, yeah.
You're welcome.
And Lou, what a treat that you're here tonight with us, Lou.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really glad we're all together, and it's always dangerous when or any rabbi tries to recognize people from the congregation because I will for sure miss someone. So I'm going to do a little differently. We have really some very special people here in the history of the temple and the current life of the temple. So I'm going to do it this way, except for one exception. which is actually two people, because we have half of Wilshire Boulevard Temple's Mount Rushmore here with us tonight, and that's Stephen Nadine Brewer. Would you please stand so we can recognize and thank you? And now I would like to ask everyone who is currently on our Board of Trustees or past trustee, would you please stand so we can recognize and thank you? Don't be shy. Our president, Scott's here. Our immediate past president, Rick Powell, is here. Julie Miller, the only, for now, woman to be president of the temple, but I have a feeling it won't be long before you lose that record. Charles, Betty, Deb, Kevin's here, Alan's here, whose son's getting married in a few weeks. Scott Edelman and Claire, is that you back there? Yes. Thank you for all that you have done and do for all of us. And would everyone, did I miss anyone? I don't think so. And would everyone who, I don't know how to put it less crassly, if you get a paycheck currently from Wilshire Boulevard Temple, would you please stand so we can thank all of you as well? I didn't see a couple of our rabbis stand. Are we not paying you? Is that? Oh, there we go. Okay. And all of you for being here. Now, before we continue and conclude our service, one more really special blessing. Many of you know that Shabbat is often framed as a metaphor, as a marriage, Sabbath bride, a marriage between God and the Jewish people. And so I think it's altogether appropriate that Risa and Stan are here with us tonight, because tonight is their 60th anniversary. So Stan and Risa, would you please come on up here? And come on up here so we can say a special blessing for you. Before that, just one question, okay? How do you stay married for 60 years?
Respect for each other.
She told me I had to.
Both undoubtedly true. We love you. We love your family. We love that you're a part of our family here. And it's really our honor now to bless you with words of Shehachianu and with gratitude for what is undoubtedly God's greatest gift, which is the gift of true and abiding love, and all that that requires, and all that that gives. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. And Mazel Tov. That might be the third way to stay married. Mia, congratulations to you and your beautiful family, and thank you for the level of class and dignity your accent lends to this congregation. We appreciate it very much. Mazel Tov, you did a great job tonight. You're going to be great tomorrow. We're very proud of you.
Mia, what's your little sister's name?
Lila.
I said to her right before the service, Lila, do you think that I have a very authentic British accent. She looked at me, says, no.
Kids say the dark. Never mind. Just a couple of announcements and one point of clarification. I actually came tonight because I misread the email from the temple. I thought it said light hors d'oeuvres and heavy drinks. But apparently it said heavy hors d'oeuvres and light drinks. So I just want to manage everyone's expectations, including my own, about how freilich it's going to get tonight as we celebrate. But in all seriousness, after we do Kiddush and Motzi, and Mia's going to come on up with her family to help us with that, then, you know, you would think I would know where. Donna, please. You have no idea how many times I say, Donna, where are we doing this?
Head towards the parking
Where are we
strip.
going?
Parking lot.
Why are you pointing there? It's there, right? Okay, good. Okay, so if you go after we finish Kiddush and Motzi, go this way, take a right, and that's where you'll find the Oneg, okay? So I'm not going to call it the parking lot, but it's the parking lot. Again, Shabbat Shalom, and again, a thank you to our Chazan and your family. Yes. Let him hear you. Now let's turn to page 282. Page 282, and please rise for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
The moment we're going to rise and say Kaddish together. This, the mourners' Kaddish. We've said 3 of the 5. We will have said 3 of the 5 Kaddishes this evening. Before we rise for Kaddish, I'm going to read the names of those loved ones of our congregation who have died during this Shloshim, this past 30 days, followed by the names of those whose yortzites, the anniversary of whose deaths, were commemorated during this past week. Those of us who are here for Shloshim or yortzite, I'm going to ask that you please rise if you wish to do so now as I read all of the names, and then the rest of us will rise with you and we'll all join together in Kaddish. We begin first with the names of those who have died during this Shloshim. Max Aronson, William Friedkin, Claire Goldstein, Sarah Rose Laffer, Ruth Levine, Helen Mayer, Judy Michaels, Robert Miller, George Morgan, Patsy Sultan, Gerald Normantup, and Gail Wiener. We add to their names the names of those whose yortzites, the anniversary of whose deaths occurred during this past week. Eva Ackerman, Aaron Arnold, Irving Bassman, Henry Baum, Charles Bendit, Joyce Benfield, Nesta Berger, Harold Burlfine, Ann Bernstein, Irene Coden-Black, Brennan Bostani, Doris Calderon, Linda Lee Chesler, Earl Cohen, Bernard Cohen, Alvin Edgar Cohen, Jenny Cajon, Henrietta Arlen, Zena Davis, Maury Dickman, Estelle Drexler, Martin Drexler, Irvin Eigler, Benny Epstein, Max Feidelson, Sophie Feldman, Sarita Fenton, Millard Fleischer, Edna Florence, Ben Frankel, Irving Friedman, Sonia Frieden, Francis Glass, Sadie Greenberg, Maury Grossberg, Ernst Hacker, Betty Lois Halper, Elizabeth Hecht, Edward Heyman, Myra Holtzman, Marion Horn, Norman Jacobson, Katie Jacobson, Johanna Kahn, Hannah Kaplan, David Harry Karsh, Jack Kent, Sarah Cohn, Denise Helen Corman, Shirley Catone, Roger Cosberg, Jean Kunish, Raymond Lackman, William Lerner, Harry Levison, Ellis Levy, Esther Levy, Chuck Levy, Florence Lewin, Edward Lewis, Leonard Lind, Leon Leubman, Dolores Luisa Lopez, Sandy Lockheim, Ethel Lozabanek, Sandra Lurie, Jerry Lushing, Justine Mandelbaum, Helen Miller, Bessie Miller Bodick, Leonard Mills, Ruth Mogul, Marge Moore, Robert Neil Morgan, Homa Navid Bahush, Shamuel Nikhu Hamadani, Arthur Nozick, Ruth Ornstein, Eli Persky, Charles Phillips, Lawrence Michael Powell, Betty Predovich, Thelma Passer Rubin, Emily Richard, Rona Rose Richmond, Morris Robin, David Rosenthal, Marv Rosenthal, Jane Rothenberg, Harold Royce, Francois Ruddy, Jorlyn Salmonson, Joseph Sandler, Walter Schoenfeld, Jack Schuster, Irving Schwartz, Soletta Schwartz, Larry Searman, Barbara Irene Shello, Marty Siegel, Samuel Sills, Jacob Silver, Millicent Small, William Smerling, Dina So, Isaac Allman, Molly Wagner, Julia Wasserman, Clifford Whites, Charles Wesley, Harry Wolf Jr., Bud Yorkin, and William Young. Are there any other names to add to Kaddish this evening? We also call to mind those we do not know, but to whom we are grateful, those who have died defending the United States of America and the state of Israel, the innocent victims of senseless terror and tragedies all over the world, and everyone who has no one to say Kaddish for them. We take them as our own as we rise now, and we join together in Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala u'v'zman kari v'imaru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekutsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imaru. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imaru. Osei shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imaru. Amen.
Shalom bimroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. עשה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, Israel, v'meru amen.
It is customary to hear the sound of the shofar during the month of Elul, and there is no sweeter sound than the shofar blown by Mitch and or Max Dorf. Mitch, thank you for uplifting us. Oh, he wants that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You know musicians.
Okay.
He wants the mic. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready, cantor.
Tkiya Shvarim Tkiya Tkiya Teruah Tkiya Tkiya Shvarim Teruah Tkiya.
Please join us in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshana b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron le'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher yitziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'veratzon hinchaletanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim.
Okay, now we're going to have a little contest between sisters, okay? Here comes down.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. 1, 2, 3. Pull.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Mazel
shalom.
tov, Don.
Go
Thank you,
to
Mitch.
the food.
We'll see you all out and to the right. You were right. Wow.